What's going on, Z Traders? No Trader here, and today we are coming at you with your daily market recap. If you find any value in what we do here, consider subscribing for more content and market updates. And if you wouldn't mind destroying the like button for the YouTube algorithm, follow us on Instagram and join us live Monday through Friday during market hours on our Discord server, where we have over $5,000 of learning materials, all for the wonderful price of, drumroll please, free 99. That is right, absolutely free to join. The link is posted as always in the description below. Be there or be square. Lastly, remember, this is not investment advice. This is for educational purposes only. Don't hop into anything discussed here without your own due diligence, as these are not trading signals, but rather my thoughts on specific security. So, ladies and gentlemen, with that being said, let us get into it. Today on Wall Street was another wild one. The Dow Jones Industrial Average was up 461 points to close the day. We are basically almost where we started. So let's look at the daily chart. This is nuts. This was the start, okay, before the roller coaster ride that we took all the way to the bottom. You'll excuse me for sounding like this, but I have a cough drop because I've been coughing, and you guys don't want to hear me cough all video long, so I had to do this. So excuse me. But nevertheless, the Dow Jones, this is unconscionable. This is ridiculous. This is absurd. Every other type of pronoun or that you want to use to describe this, it is. Ladies and gentlemen, this is nuts. There is no reason whatsoever we need to be trading at 27,000 on the Dow. That is above 27,000. That is absolutely outrageous. All right, but that's the reality that we're living in. Like I always tell you guys, unicorn tears and pixie dust, right? Decent volume we had today. Looks like there was 73 million volume on the SPY. We're overbought, but that's nothing new. Let's take a look at the SPY and see what we got going on in the daily chart. 𝘔𝘕𝘓𝘓𝘓𝘓, same story, same chart pattern, same oversold, same overboughtness, same ridiculousness. I mean, we're like right there. One of two things is going to happen. Either we're going to get right there and there's going to be a crazy economic catalyst that comes out of nowhere that's going to just knock it all down, or we're going to just bust straight through it like it was never there and just keep continuing from there until we fall eventually, inevitably, again at some point, when the chickens come home to roost. Because you do know that the chickens have to come home to roost, right? Like, this is not, they're out of the barn right now, but this is not how it works. I've never seen anything like it, but it doesn't matter. We can still make money anyhow. So let's take a look at it from a levels perspective. Looks like we're approaching R1. But before we get to R1, we got to clear this old level of R4, which is a level of resistance in its own right. So tomorrow, either we're going to hit this and gap down, or we're going to gap up and break, hit it. And yeah. So if there's no economic negative catalyst or anything that comes out we'll probably run into this and sell off a little bit, and then probably run up and try to hit and test R1, and then maybe come down a little bit, trade sideways, and then bust through it, unless there's some sort of negative catalyst. That's the way I see this playing out, because there's just no way anybody's going to bet against SPY at this point. I mean, this is absolutely insane. It's down 56 cents after hours, but that's not probably going to hold up. We'll see. I don't know. Maybe there's some profit taken tomorrow. We can only hope for the bears out there, for your sake, right? If you got any puts in SPY right now, I don't know who would have puts in SPY right now, or who would swing puts in SPY. Certainly not I. I would never swing puts in SPY right now in this day and age. There will be a time for it, but it's just not yet. All right. It's crazy. So let's take a look at the economic calendar. Let's see what we got coming out today. Nothing really. Tomorrow, and business optimism, I guess. OPEC meeting. Woo, that's big. This is going to have an impact bigly. Red book stuff, wholesale, blah, 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 10-year note auction, crude oil stock. That's kind of important. Yeah, so oil was actually down today. So we'll see how this affects oil prices. That's going to be very big. Oh, snaps. I'm tripping. I didn't even see this. Jobs. So that's job openings. That's big. So we'll see how this goes. We got the forecast, the previous. Let's see. So with this and oil, that'll probably be a big market mover. Crude oil API. Yep. So we got some economic stuff tomorrow. We'll see how it goes. Like I said, the most likely scenario for SPY right now is to probably hit R4, come down, or either we gap up to R4 tomorrow morning and then we fill that gap immediately after open, and then we trade sideways and then rally at the end of the day, or we just bust right through this and hit R1, trade sideways, and then bust, come down a little bit and then bust through R1. Or there's some type of negative economic catalyst and we actually don't even get up here and we gap down. So one of those three things is going to happen. Or profit taken. Doesn't have to be a negative catalyst. It could just be profit taken too. So we'll see. Investors are fickle. But long term, just know that at some point this has got to end. All right? The music is going to stop playing and everybody's going to have to grab a chair, only there's not going to be enough chairs for everybody in the music. The musical chairs is going to end. This euphoria that's driving this market is going to have to eventually hit reality, all right? And when it does, it's not going to be a pretty one. All right, well, that concludes our market outlook segment. Without any further ado, let us get into what you all came here for, and that is the plays. So, first play we got today was Apple puts. We got in at the break of a support level that had been retested twice. We waited for the retest. Boom, boom, bounced up, came back down, and then this time when it broke it, we waited for the second 5-minute candle to close, and then took the nice, lovely ride down and got out. I will say though, and by the way, this is a typo. It wasn't a 41,000. I just saw that. It was actually 4,100. But I did go a little bit big today in my positions than I typically do. I'm a little bit more conservative. Um, Today I just went basically all in, and that's why today the numbers that you're going to see today are atypical. And plus, like on my in my 9 to 5 business that I do, I just got a really big client, so I took a lot of the deposit that I got last week and put it in part of it into my broker's account, and kind of give me a little bit more tankiness and more flexibility in order to make bigger positions. So we did take a big position in this, and we were able to make $4,100. But the rationale is the same. Waited for the second bounce, waited for the break of the support, and waited for the confirmation 5-minute candle. Those are all important steps for trading. Boom. And you'll notice that the MACD is red. And it did turn red on this candle. So those are all confirmation. The best advice I can give you is the more confirmations you get when trading, the better. All right. Profits taken along the way, closing out contracts at the end of every 5-minute candle. Just in case we got the bounce on the 200 MA, you don't want to get clapped like that. Then the position reverses on you and you lose money. Because if you see the 200 MA, it could have easily just as well have bounced. Okay. So you got to be careful. Take profits along the way. And by the time you get to here, everything is house money. So the next play, sorry, that we have is, well, this is the overall PML today. Beyond Meat, Chewy, that's an experiment. I'll get into that. DraftKings, SPY, Tesla, and Zoom. This was actually a record-setting day. This was the greatest day that I've ever had in my whole entire trading career. But yeah, it felt really good today. Today was just out the gates. I spent about 5 hours last night studying and looking at charts. And what I'll say is that's another big part of it, right? Studying charts, learning how to trade, working on self-management skills, emotional management, risk management, because your emotional part, your emotional control is just as important as knowing how to trade and knowing when to get in and out of positions. You don't want to leave anything to chance, especially if you're new. You don't want to go off of gut feelings and winging it. Like I always tell everybody in chat, treat it as if it's a formula in an Excel spreadsheet. If then, okay? If this, then that. That's how you want to approach it. All right? So let's take a look at the Beyond Meat trade. Actually, I didn't even get a screenshot of that. Oh well, I didn't send it to my email when I sent it over. But anyway, we got Chewy. This was an experiment. Basically, I went and bought some way out of the money puts. I think they'll beat on earnings, but they won't be able to justify their current valuation. And just like everybody else, when the earnings come, whether they beat or not, and it'll depend, of course, on their forward guidance as well. They are expected to lose a little bit of money. Maybe they lose a little bit less than they're expected to lose. Who knows? Honestly, I think they're going to tank after earnings. So I got some way out of the money puts. That way, if the position goes belly up, I don't care. But if they do fall off a cliff, I'm going to make a killing. So we'll see. I'd rather do that than spread. I don't really mess with spreads. I know some people love them to death. I mean, I just, it's not my cup of tea. Go big or go home. I don't like to limit my profits. So I just bought some way out of the money puts. And if this position loses, who cares? It's house money anyway. If it hits, we'll be in the building. DraftKings. Let me see what we got with draft. I don't think I. Wow, I could have swore I sent over all the pictures to my email. All right, that's fine. Well, we got the Tesla calls. Basically, we waited. This was a little bit aggressive, but we saw that it bounced from a support level. We got the pin bar closed. We got the engulfing green candle here. And then we got the confirmation 5-minute candle close and stayed in here. Taking profits along the way. Leaving a little bit of contracts until the end. And then got out at this close at the beginning of this 5-minute candle once we saw it start to go red. So that was nice. It was a $4,100 profit. So it was actually my first time putting this much money into Tesla's calls or puts, period, because they're super expensive. But today I was feeling sexy. So we did what we had to do. We got some SPY puts going on. This was actually a really risky trade because obviously you don't want to be in SPY puts for a long time. And this could have gone against us. And unlike the rest of the positions, I didn't wait for the 5-minute close. So we could have really got clapped. And actually, we had to have diamond hands because you see the second 5-minute candle was green. So that scared the bejesus out of me. But we stayed in. Got out all the way at the bottom. $2,700 profit. Nice. So this was a really risky trade. I wouldn't advise this trade to anybody. We were red on the MACD. So, and then we had the, big selling volume we were looking at too. So, that helped. Then we got the Zoom puts going on. It had a gap to fill. It filled that gap, but then it hit the resistance, which was the 200 MA, and came right back down, crashed through here. We got the 5-minute confirmation candle, hopped in, boom, 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 right all the way down to the pin bar, got out 2,100. I wish I would have went in harder, but I really wasn't sure about this, so it did work. Mini-me baby account challenge. We started this account 2 weeks ago now, or a week and a half ago actually, with $21 in this account. I posted the screenshots on Instagram. So now we're at 555. That's freaking ridiculous. I'm really conservative with this account. Super conservative. This was a result of forward puts. I saw some sweeps come in for forward puts. And you got to follow the smart money. Basically, it's a notification that tells you, hey, there's a lot of money betting against this company or betting for this company. Like sweeps could be calls or puts. Sometimes there's ways that you can identify puts. There's subscription services where you can buy a subscription and they'll send out, you'll have notifications and things, and you'll be able to see like in real time. But I'd find them basically by unusual option activity or open interest and volume. So there was a tremendous amount of open interest and volume in a particular set of forward puts. So got in. And yeah, this is what happened. So that was nice. And then, of course, in our chat, I'm not the only one that's doing this. We got people, Animanium Hands, in our Discord server. He made some great money today. That was pretty nice. Come up on Amazon. Like, Amazon was killing it today. I mean, they've just been going up and up and up and up and up. Not a bad day at all. Then we got somebody who's up $6,000 over the past 3 months. So that's awesome. We also got somebody in the Instagram. I actually posted that Tesla trade in the chat before I was going to get, I was already in it, but I saw that it was about to break out. But so I posted it in the chat, and then somebody got in it. And yeah, shout out to Joey. He was able to profit from it, following us on Instagram, just like you should be doing. So, I'm trying to do some things that are different in my chat. And a lot of people sell subscriptions for signals. I don't do that. Number one, I don't like to have people's financial well-being in my hands like that, because what if eventually you're going to call out losing trades. Nobody's going to be 100%. And the problem with these signal services is that people subscribe and they think they're going to make $100,000 tomorrow just because they're following someone else's trades. But what you need to understand is those people are human beings. They have emotions, they have lives, right? So if they wake up angry, they have a fight with their wife, whatever happens, that could affect their trading psyche. They could be losing trades behind the scenes, trying to revenge trade, call something out. You get into it, you don't know. Also, there's a delay between when they get in the trade and when they post it in chat, because typically in signal services, they really don't post a trade unless it's already winning. So that means they would have had to be in it already, which means they got a better price than you did. And, a lot of this stuff is time sensitive. Like, I'm talking minutes or seconds, right? Could make the difference between a win and a loss. So, there are some really great signal services out there, but that's not my jam. That's not my jam. My goal is education, because if you give a man a fish, he'll fish for a day. If you teach a man to fish, he'll fish for a lifetime. And that's the goal, teaching people how to trade rather than giving them signals, right? So if you want to learn how to, because, for whatever reason, and if you're flying blindly, just hopping into, signal trade, you could lose money. You don't know what the rationale was behind the trade. You don't know the reason they got in. You don't know why this trade at this particular time. You don't know when to get out, because a lot of times they don't have time to put that into the signal. So there's pros and cons. I just rather learn how to trade myself. I've been a part of a lot of signal services, and I just found that this was the best approach for me personally. Some people are more hands-on learners. Some people, everybody learns differently. But for me, this was the way to do it. So, but yeah, follow us on Instagram, join our Discord. You can see this all live in real time. Yeah. So, always remember risk management, control your emotions, trade your plan, and don't allow your emotions to guide your trading, right? Those are very important factors. That's all the time we have for today. Remember, like I just said, plan your trade, trade your plan. Bulls make money, bears make money, but pigs, they get slaughtered. Don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell so you never miss an episode, and follow us on Instagram and join our Discord chat where we're live until 5 and we do something before 2 something. The links are in the description below. Until next time, Zeno Trade.